one question around like the timing and this point you made around when these start to bite, as you mentioned it. So do we need to just check a tenant once they've accepted the tenancy? And then there was another question from someone else. Do we need to check the tenant prior to holding any kind of deposit from them, or before a tenant signed an offer?
I mean, Gita might be better to talk through it from a practical sense, but my understanding, if you are acting for the landlord, that reporting is only required after the tenant's offer is accepted if you're working for the landlord. If you're working for the tenant, it's slightly different and it's once the offer is accepted. I don't know whether Gita would agree from a practical perspective of when it might differ from the letter of the guidance as to when you might want to do it and think
Yeah,
about.
absolutely. So those are the buy points, like you said. So for the landlord, it would be at the point of the instruction. So before you start doing any work for the landlord, you should complete your screenings. For the tenant, is at the point where the offer has been accepted by the landlord, and before ultimately all the monies are received, because God forbid you can end up with some criminal funds in your accounts. So yeah, definitely before that is, I think sanctions fall them biting points within the lettings.
Yeah, and it's definitely worth reading the guidance because it actually does outline those for you as well. So to refer back to, and obviously when you're building out, if you do come to build a sanctions policy and you're thinking about training your team, actually there's some really good pieces within the guidance that you can kind of extract and use to your advantage as you start to build out your own pieces of information as well.
100%. And also, I think Property Mark also is helping agents. Yesterday, I was searching something and I found actually that he produced like a fact sheet where the agent could actually refer to just to help them to build those policies and procedures, and they ensure that they actually understand what they're supposed to do. Because sometimes the sanctions law can be written in very blunt language and it's really hard to understand. So really, I envy people like that. None probably lettings people would enjoy reading as much as Harriet and I, the law. So there are quite helpful information out there, I think, for lettings agents to start with, actually from scratch and saying, look, right, this is what first I'm going to do.